Devotion, we were talking through Proverbs 21 and verse 16. Those people that walk out of the way of understanding will abide in the congregation of the dead. I think that's interesting because what they're basically saying is that if I'm not in right relationship with the God that I know and love, then I'm living like the rest of the world that's spiritually dead. I just remain in that. Now I want you to just think of all the cognizantly dead people that are around us. When the word speaks of us being dead in our trespasses and sins, we were cognizant, but we were dead in Ephesians 2 and verse 1 through 5. God had great love, God was merciful, but we were dead, and we were brought to life. Now, why is this important? Because the world runs, and certainly we understand it, and more so in a culture or society such as ours, which is capitalism. It's based on merit, but it's not just our society, it's all societies. In some way, it will always be there with mankind. Some aspect of merit. Someone will be able to achieve more, get more, be tied in better. Some people will receive it by virtue of their birthright. Others will receive it because they're incredibly intelligent, or they have designed something that others didn't know or couldn't have done. But they'll get it. It's called merit. We have learned that from the day one, when the mom and dad, and the little baby, smiled, and they the mom and dad, gave them a good look and encouraged them. Merit. If they stopped crying and they went to bed peacefully, merit. When they learned their alphabet, merit. When they went to school and behaved, merit. When they were potty trained, merit. All of these aspects are part of life. It's the human condition. It's what we live with. We earn certain rights and privileges. And no matter what our culture tells us about the inequities of humanity, not that we shouldn't seek to provide equal opportunity for all people, but the inequity of humanity is a part of every culture and every society, and has been since the day that Adam fell. It's just there. Genesis 4 and verse 1 and on, when Cain and Abel, it was unfair that one would be received and the other wouldn't. Merit. Now, why is this important? Because Jesus Christ provided a different way. Now, we may live in a world where we have to earn our rights and privileges. We have to work for what we get. And we may be well rewarded, we may not. But we don't have to live in, how can I say this? Our citizenship doesn't have to be strictly on this earth. We can be citizens of heaven in Philippians 3 and verse 20. We can walk according to the gospel of Christ. That can be our guiding premise in Philippians 1:27. We can think with him and let that mind be in us in Philippians 2:5. And we can seek those things which are above, where Christ is seated on the right hand of God in Colossians 3 and verse 1 through 5. We can do that. We have the privilege of doing that. And that means that we are no longer just strictly motivated by merit. In fact, life isn't fair. How can it be? How can it be? How can it be in a world of sinful people that are dominated by the desire to achieve goals and get to a certain point of recognition, or have some semblance of, some degree of, material, wealth, and not have it hurt other people? It just can't be. That's the world that we live in. But we can live based by grace. And what we get, and the way that we live, and the peace that we have, and the love that inspires us, and the faith that we live by, recognizing that there is an eternal purpose in life and that everything is part of it. In Romans 8, verse 28 and 29, that nothing is just mere chance for us, actually speaks to the heart of those people around us. How we take what happens to us, the things that happen to us. It speaks. I'm going to close with this. I've been so impressed with many people throughout the years of pastoring. I shared on Sunday about Pastor Pete Stevens, and this is a person that's suffered greatly, and yet tremendous spirit of faith, always at peace, a sense of love and compassion for others, doesn't put his ills above another. I've watched Pastor Wheelock suffer, and the very same thing, just a sense of faith. He hasn't put his ills above another's need. He's hasn't stopped considering others or praying for others. What a testimony to a world full of people that would feel almost ripped off in any of the same situations. Thank God that we have a living hope. Thank God that we have something that inspires us to live beyond the transience of this life and to place our eyes on the eternal. Thank God. Thank God for testimonies like we've just shared. Thank God. Till next time, friends, God bless you.